the live trading video. So you've caught me just as I am looking at Bitcoin. It is currently Sunday afternoon and it is looking like there is potential for Bitcoin to come back up. So as you can see, I marked a really small, it's now become a very small fair value gap here, and I put my target line as the floor of the fair value gap. At the minute I am just waiting really to see what happens. So as you can see, there's been a lot going on. Price swept liquidity here, then it came back up and it has now swept liquidity again. There's a massive red candle, it's come back down. I almost entered around here, but I'm glad I didn't, because as you can see, the RSI was tumbling on the 15 minute and the RSI went right down on the 5 minute. And as per my own trade rules, I never enter a trade if the RSI is below 30 on the 5 minute or on the 15 minute chart, and in this case it is. So that's a potential indication to me that I shouldn't enter right now. However, there has been a sharp increase here in RSI, so, and it looks like it's slowly starting to go back up. So to me, the yellow target line is still valid, but I'm going to wait a little bit longer and just see. So we're just really waiting this one out to see what happens. I'm looking for the RSI level to go back above 30 on both the 15 minute and on the 5 minute chart. And I'm also monitoring volume carefully. So as you can see, the volume was quite high here. It went well above the moving average line, but because the RSI was tumbling, I wasn't going anywhere near that, and it turned out to be a good decision. Like I said, I thought about entering around here, but then in the last 15 minute candle the price absolutely tumbled. So this is where it's good to exercise risk management, exercise caution. It's also good to know what you're looking for, because I know that I am looking for the RSI level to be above 30 on the 15 minute and on the 5 minute chart when I enter a trade. That prevented me from entering there, and you've got to, it's good to have clarity in what you're looking for, because if I'd have entered there, it would have been an absolute disaster, as you can see from this candle here. So those things really help in times like that, to make sure that you don't enter in the wrong place. So we're just kind of waiting this one out. This is fully live. I'm going to be doing more of these videos to talk you through my thought process when I enter a trade, when I take a trade, and what I'm looking for, etc. Ideally, I would like to see a bottom wick on that candle, because then there'd be a fair value gap that form here, but unfortunately that didn't transpire. If I just zoom in, you can see that there's no bottom wick on that candle, so it's a difficult one. I mean, I could go off the 5 minute fair value gap, but I don't tend to go off fair value gaps on the 5 minute chart. I tend to only go off them on the 15 minute chart and on the 1 hour chart. So we'll see. However, I've still got this fair value gap, albeit very small at the minute, but it does exist between this candle here and this candle here. So to me, this is still a valid target to potentially come back up to the floor of this fair value gap. There's also the possibility to enter a trade down here if the RSI level starts rising, and to potentially take a cash out if, say, I don't know, say hypothetically the price came to here and I didn't want to chance it anymore, I could just cash out here instead. So that's definitely a possibility. So we're just waiting to see what happens at this point. I appreciate that 15 minutes is quite a long time and there's not always a lot going on. I might not have something to say every second of every minute, but a lot of day trading is just waiting. It's waiting for the right moment. It's waiting for the setup to present itself. The reason I'm focusing on this is because I do believe that my setup is presenting itself. I'm now waiting for, confluences. I'm waiting for the RSI level. As you can see, it's 22 at the minute, 22.31. I'm waiting for that to go back above 30 on the 15-minute chart and on the 5-minute chart, but it's, as you can see there, it was 15 and it jumped straight to 18.96. So that's a really sharp upturn, and wow, it's gone to 24. So again, a sharp upturn. It's starting to rise again here. So I am going to go on to CTrader and I'm going to get this going. So I am looking here for, I'm going to put 88,882 as the take profit target. 88,882.0 as the profit target, and for the stop loss I am going to go to about 87.5 just to protect myself. So well, I am when it responds at least. As you can see, I am having some trouble here. So we're back again. Apologies, I was having some issues with CTrader there. I think there's a lot going on because I am recording at the same time, so I think my computer's struggling a little bit. So I have entered the trade. I have put the bottom of the floor of this fair value gap, I have put as a target. I've put my stop loss here at 87,250, and we're currently just monitoring this now. So I'm currently 21. As you can see, I don't worry about this, guys. It's not too important to get hung up on the price and how it fluctuates. There's always the option to press this X and to cash out, so I never panic too much. I'm confident in my setup. The volume bar is above the moving average line, and the RSI is now above 30 on both the 15-minute and on the, unfortunately, it took a bit of a slant on the 5 minutes, but this happens. It does sometimes go across and go down a little bit, and then it starts moving back up. It can be very jagged. It could go a bit like that. So I'm not that worried at this stage. As you can see, the price is rising, so I'm not too worried. And now suddenly we're back at a -7. It fluctuates, guys. This is where you got to be confident in your setup. So we're just going to wait now and see what happens. Like I said earlier, I might decide that this is too high and I might bring it down to here and cash out. We'll see what the profit is, but it's very much just a waiting game now. So we're back to -24. A lot of people panic here, but I'm not going to panic. I've had price swings with about 70. I've had it go up to +40, and then I've had that decrease to -30, so that's like the £70 swing. So I don't panic at this stage. When I first started, I really used to panic about this, but not now. The whole point of setting my stop loss down here was to give this candle a bit of room to breathe, so if it does sort of come back down, I'm not panicking. And at the end of the day, I am in profit, £78.67. So again, this has come really down, and I'm still not panicking, guys. I'm still not panicking. As you can see, it comes down, it goes back. I'm just not panicking. It's not ideal by any means. The RSI has now gone below 30 again, which is really not ideal at all. It's on the 5 minute, it's gone down and it's only just above 30, but I'm still not panicking. I've had this before where it goes down and then it shoots back up. I'm quite calm in these situations now. At the end of the day, if this does turn out to be a losing trade, I'm not going to panic. the whole point of this channel is to be transparent. I'm new to day trading and I've only just started the funded trading challenge with FTMO in the last month, so I want to be honest and I want to be open and I want to be transparent with everybody watching the channel. I'm not perfect and I'm going to lose trades sometimes, so we are just waiting here. The good thing is now that on the 15 minute the RSI is starting to rise again. It's 32.21, and as you can see the price is starting to move back up again. So if I go back to C Trader, you can see we've gone from minus 40 to, well, it was minus 14, now it's minus 20. This number will fluctuate a lot. It's important not to get too hung up on this, and like I said, to be confident in why you're entering in a certain place. So if you're confident and you've got conviction with your actions and when you enter and why and the reasons why you take a trade, that outweighs. Don't get fixated on the price fluctuating. Just have conviction, have confidence, and in the mindset and the reasons why you're entering a trade. So we're moving up here, as you can see. We are still at a loss, but that's okay because the RSI is, again, it's increased now to 33.69 and it's 34. Don't be worried if it goes down a bit like this guy's on the 5 minute, or if it just goes across. Like I said, that happens. It may well stagger its way up, so don't panic. So that 15 minute candle is now closed and the next 15 minute candle is opened. Hopefully here we get, you know, some momentum and it starts going up, so that's a good start. So we're at minus 9 now, so that's a big improvement on what we were at before. So I'm hoping for a sort of big move upward in this next 15 minutes. We'll see. This happens as well. This will happen a lot. I don't want anyone to panic. You know, don't panic if you're trading and the candle goes up and it goes down. That is just all part of the game. So, you know, I'd urge anyone who's taking on or learning day trading not to panic. As you can see, I'm not panicking at all in my voice. I know that I can click the X and cash out if needed, so you know I have the option to take the profit or the loss, and now we're at minus 5 and that's perfect. That's what we want to see. We've got a rising RSI at 35.79 and we've got an RSI which is rising now on the 5 minute. So it was 38, it's gone back down to 36.9, but there is a lot of fluctuation. There's going to be a lot of fluctuation in these candles. It's really important, just like I said, to not get stressed, not get worried. At the end of the day, you know, I've seen here, this looks like the sort of, you know, liquidity has been swept here and this looks like the swing low. So I've seen it before where, you know, the candles could come and they could stagger all the way to the line, and it could take, you know, it could take all afternoon, it could take 3 hours, you know, it could. So I'm not panicking at all at this stage. We're in the red here, you know, this is turning into a red 15-minute candle, but again, I've seen this happen and we've still got 13 minutes on this candle. I've seen this happen before and then it just shoots back up. So again, I'm not panicking here. I'm not panicking. This is part of the game. The price is going to fluctuate wildly, especially when you trade assets such as crypto like myself. I only trade Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they are prone to sort of wild swings, which is why some day traders don't trade them. But to me, I find that they fit my strategy. I like them, so I continue to trade them, but they're not for everybody, and I understand that. Some assets have steadier sort of movements to my understanding, but like I said, these two work for me, and so far these are the ones that I only trade at the minute. I did trade Solana when I first started, but that turned out not to fit my strategy, and you'll know that if you've watched my week 1 funded challenge results video, that just didn't work for me, so I came off that. So as you can see, the RSI level has sort of flatlined here, and on the 5 minute it's flatlined again. I've seen this happen before numerous times when I've entered a trade. I am not worrying. As you can see, I'm quite calm about it all. I have confidence that the price will go back up. It'll either shoot up or it'll just stagger its way to the line. I'm not worried at this point. I'm just seeing what happens. I'm just holding out to see. As it stands, we're minus 23, but again, I'm not worried. You saw that we were at minus 40, and then it went all the way to minus 5. You know, that's a price range of sort of £40. The price was up and down and fluctuating in a £40 range, so you know, it's so wild. It is a little bit of a roller coaster, which is why if you are doing this, I urge you not to focus on this number and instead to focus on the reasons why. You know, this number is changing. Focus on the reasons why you're entering. Be confident in why, what your strategy is, like I was, and that helps to eliminate the worry and the stress. So we're just seeing what happens here. The RSI level it's going up and it's going down, as you can see. It's the same on the 5-minute chart, but it is slowly creeping up on both, so that gives me confidence that the price will continue to increase. Like I said, you know, it's currently 2:50 in the afternoon, but it might take till 4 or 5 to hit this target line that I've put. That's how it goes sometimes. That's, you know, all part of the game. So we're just sitting, we're waiting, we're monitoring, and we're seeing what happens here. This candle, this particular 15-minute candle, it seems to be staying very level. As you can see, it's almost equal in the top wick and the bottom wick, and the price is staying very much in the middle, so that's where we're at. And sometimes this happens. Sometimes you have a 15-minute candle and this happens. The price just sort of hovers around the middle, and then that's generally that. You know, that can generally be a good sign. It can continue to go up in small chunks, like I said. Of course, it could go the other way, but you know, I'm hoping that it continues to slowly climb towards that line. So I'm just going to see. I've got every confidence that it will. I say that and then it goes straight back down quite quickly, but you know, maybe I'm tempting fate. Maybe I should just shut up and see what happens. I don't know. Let's see how the 5-minute. Oh god, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I should just shut my mouth. I don't know. See how we're doing. So we're minus 21, which it's not too worrying for me. I've put the stop loss down here, so it would have to decrease quite a lot to hit the stop loss. And if I'm being realistic, if it got towards this level, I'd probably just take the loss. I wouldn't want to lose too much. That's why I put the stop loss quite low, because I'm always monitoring this number. So, like I said, I'm £78.67 in profit currently, and if it got too dicey, like 30-40, I could just click the X and I could just take the loss instead of losing all my profit. But as you can see, we're just bounding around at minute. We just tend to be we're staying bang in the middle pretty much. It's alternating between a green and a red candle. So yeah, we're just seeing what happens. There's really no need to panic at this point. A lot of people will panic here and they will be like hitting the sell button, but I'm not panicking because I've got confidence in my strategy and the reasons why I entered the trade where I did. So that really goes a long way. Let's see what happens in the remaining 7 minutes and 10 seconds of this particular 15-minute candle. So a lot of it is just a waiting game. It's battling with your own psychology as well. Like I said, it would be so easy to pull the trigger now and just take the £20-30 loss, whatever we're at now, and be done with this, but I'm deliberately not. I've got faith that the price, you know, will continue to climb. Another thing for everybody watching, it's not uncommon to have a green candle and to sweep liquidity and hit a sort of swing low, and then to finish with the candle green and to have a few little red ones and a few little green ones and sort of stagger towards the line. So I've seen that happen a few times now. Once you observe these patterns and you start seeing them more and more, you start to relax a bit and have a bit more assurance in your strategy and things. So it can really be a fight with your own mental state sometimes, just to stay in the game and to have confidence you're going to hit your target line, or to even just get into profit. We're just going to see how this one goes. It looks bleak now, and anybody else will probably be panicking, but I'm not going to panic here. I'm not going to panic. We're just going to see what happens. See how the 5 minutes doing. So the 5 minute, it's gone down, but it is still above 30, so that's a good sign to me. Same here, it's gone down, but we're still barely above 30, so that's good. Let's see what we're doing here. Yeah, so we're at minus 40. It's not ideal, none of it's ideal, but I'm going to keep the faith, like Bon Jovi would say, and hold out and see what happens. I hope you're finding this useful to everybody watching. I hope this is useful, and I hope that it's making sense. I think my battery's starting to get low, so I'm just going to plug my charger in. But yeah, like I was saying, I hope to everybody watching that you're finding this useful. I appreciate it's quite a long video, but I hope that by doing this, the reason it is a long video, and the reason that I like to do these live trade videos, is to show authenticity, to show transparency. I'm not here, I'm not out here like some YouTubers pretending that day trading's easy and that it's a bed of roses. It's quite stressful, and it's not easy at all. And anybody who tries to sell you a get rich quick sort of thing with this, that's not how I see day trading. That's not the aim for me. The aim is to accurately predict where markets are going to go, and that should be the first and foremost thing before the money. There's definitely skill to this, and it's even just to this point, it's took me sort of hours of observing. Before I started the funded trading challenge, I must have spent a good few hours overall, probably like 10-20 plus hours, just observing charts, just observing patterns, looking for reoccurring patterns. So it's definitely not a cakewalk. I like to show, you're in a sense, you're probably riding the emotional roller coaster with me now on this trade. So I appreciate that. It is going to be a really long video, but I hope that you're finding it useful, and I hope that it's useful to get an insight into my thinking, what I'm looking for, etc. And I really hope that if this is an area you're interested in, that you're learning a lot, or that if you are actively trying to day trade or pass a funded challenge yourself, that it helps you with what you're trying to do as well. At the end of the day, I started with zero experience of this, and another big reason for starting this channel was because I wanted people to see that it is something they can learn, and it is something that's within their control. You can learn this stuff, guys. It's not just a select few, but you've got to put the time in, and you've got to make the observations, digest different strategies, learn what works for you, learn what the best assets are for you to trade. Like I said, for me so far it's been Bitcoin and Ethereum, but there's nothing to say that won't change going forward. For yourselves, it might be the same, it might be something different. And by all means, if you like my strategy and it makes sense to you, then feel free to adopt it, take elements of it. I want to be fully transparent. I want to help people, and I want to help people achieve with day trading. So yeah, that's a big thing for me. Just helping people learn, giving people knowledge, and it's all free. I'm just giving you this knowledge for free. As I learn, hopefully you learn, and hopefully you take things from what I'm sharing with you and they help you with your progress. So as you can see there, while I was giving that background information, the candle started, it was quite down in the red when I started that, and now it has gone back up to the midpoint and it's just increased again. So we are now back to minus 15, so that's a really good sign. RSI has started rising again on the 15 minute, and it's sharply sort of risen. Well, not sharply, but that's a fair increase to 38 on the 5-minute chart. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. We've only got 10 seconds now of this candle left, so it'll be interesting to see how the next 15-minute candle opens and how it starts. So ultimately a red candle there, but the price, not too worried because the price is still sort of going in the right direction. So we'll just keep seeing how it's going here. A lot of people would potentially panic if they see the candle opening as a bearish candle and a red candle, but to me the price is staying pretty much the same as the previous candle, so I'm not too worried. And like I said, as long as the price is sort of moving in a steadily in the right direction towards the gold target line, I'm not going to panic too much. Wouldn't it be nice if that bottom wick is the low for this candle and we push on now with some momentum, but we'll see. The RSI sort of flatlined on the 15 minute, and on the 5 minute it keeps sort of coming down and then going back up, so we'll just see what happens. Currently minus 18 in terms of profit, but that's alright. We're just going to see what happens. So that's good. Oh no, right as I say that, I think I'm jinxing it. I think I should I really think I should just stop talking. Every time I say that it's looking better or something, the price just drops. I think it's Sod's Law. Yeah, honestly man, I really need to shut up when I'm doing these videos, and I just need to let things play out. So at the minute again the price is staying fairly level, and right as I say that the price starts increasing again. Well, this is looking more encouraging, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, there it goes again. I'm just gonna start saying that this is looking bleak, guys, and then that way, do you think if I say that it might reverse the other way instead? Who knows? Honestly, I need to stop talking. So, price, you'll notice that it kind of looks similar to the previous candle, but to me that's alright. The price is staying around the same point. There's no massive fluctuations, which is always good. So yeah, hopefully now there isn't. Now I've said that, I'm not sure, but we'll see. But no, to me this is fine. I'm not panicking, even though it's gone into the red. I'm not panicking. We're just waiting here. We're just waiting to see what happens. You'll often find this, that there's a battle between the red and green candle, and this isn't uncommon. I've seen this, a few times now, where the price sort of grapples with itself for a little bit. So we'll just see what happens with this. Sorry guys, just gotta blow my nose. This is all part of the game. It reminds me, I think a good analogy is fishing, because with fishing you're just waiting around a lot of the time. You're waiting with your rod and you put the bait on the hook and you cast it, and I feel like that a bit with trading. You, in the sense that when you enter a trade, it's like casting your rod out, and then you kind of just waiting for your profit to hopefully be hit, or to take a loss before things get too bad, and that's like catching and reeling and fishing. So yeah, that's often how I think about it in my mind when I'm sat here waiting to see what happens. I have done it before where I've entered a trade and I've just sort of left it for a few hours and I've let it transpire, but I like to be in control, in the sense that I like to be able to cash out if the loss becomes too heavy, so that I don't lose all the profit that I've made so far. Oh well, look at that. So yeah, we are just hovering a lot around this line at the minute, around this sort of price point. Yeah, we just hopefully, yeah, it's interesting that we're just sort of staying where we are. So RSI level's 32 at the minute on the 15-minute chart, and on the 5-minute it is 37, so roughly the same as last time we checked. So we're just waiting here, like I said, to see what happens. Just seeing what happens still. As you can see though, like I said, the price is generally moving in the right direction towards the target line, so that's always encouraging to me. So RSI levels at 35.65 now on the 15-minute time frame, and on the 5-minute you can see it's shot up to 41.40, which is really encouraging. That's what we like to see. And now you see that I am at minus. Yep, now I'm in the profit. So this is how it goes. It can be very. I'm now I'm now 15-16 pounds in profit, and we are climbing and climbing. I could take the £20 here, but I'm going to just hold on a minute and just see what happens, because whoa, and you see there that the price shot up, so that's amazing. So I we're climbing towards that line. I'm going to actually cash out here, and I'm going to take that £56 profit, but because I could have probably, but to me that's an extremely good profit. At the end of the day, £56, and it was only an hour's work. I do have confidence it's going to get to the target line. However, I like to be cautious, and I like to, if it didn't, and then to me £50 for an hour's work is a really good profit. So yep, I hope that thank you for watching, and I hope that everybody watching learned a lot from that. I'm going to be doing more live videos to talk you through my thought process, and hopefully it really helps people viewing, whether you're just trying to learn or whether you're actively day trading at the minute. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.